Hello traders and welcome. You're listening to Mike Hamilton, and last week I produced a video on Thursday saying that I thought this market still had the potential to break higher and potentially bust up. Now we're not even closed yet. We've got 2 hours of the US market to close yet, so we could still fail here at this resistance, close underneath 18,000 and roll over. But on the face of it, these dips have been bought. We're still within Friday's range. Friday was this big sellers bar here, and we're still sitting inside that range. So why did I think we had the potential to push higher? Well, seasonally, we have a tendency to hold the lows at this time of year. It's been a busy week for report season, and still got some more to go. So that was one reason. So seasonality was one. If you look at 20-year averages for the Dow, then typically this would get bought. And then as we head into middle to back end of May, traditionally that would be the time to sell in May and go away. And at the moment that looks like that's playing out. But all the time, if we can hold up here at 18,001, 18,200, then we've got the potential to push to 18,500, 19,000. But one step at a time. Let's just wait until we at least get see where today closes and see if we close well into the weekend. That's going to be critical on a week like this week, whether or not we can hold up. Right, so that's the Dow. If we do hold up here, then 18,050 is a good pullback. If we close higher at anything above 18,175, then we will have to probably expect a higher pullback. Okay, now overall my week started off really well. My brokerage account fell over for the critical 2 hours yesterday, and of course I was away from my desk for a few hours. But this morning I hesitated on waiting for a pullback on this one at the lows on a setup that we use in the trading room, and it didn't come back for me. So I ended up looking like a crazy boy watching it run up. And so I have overall made money though. Later in the day I bought this Dow at the, what level was it? It was about, it was just around the 18,002 I think it was, and got 100 points out of it, and just stood aside because I've been at my screens quite a lot. Nice just to grab some profits and stand aside because I had a few stop outs. The data setup worked really well on this, and I chose to ignore it. I was looking at all this support on this fib level, thinking that would hold, and of course, we're stuck between the 50 and the 200. Having had a couple of legs down, and was trading against the trend and got in front of a third leg down. So I will do what I can to make sure I don't do that again. And also, big fan of this pound Aussie dollar. Got in too high on this one, but I do allow myself to go back in on a second time, but 2 stop outs is maximum for one market. So I am about break even. So I covered my losses on my stop out, and I'm about break even on this one. If we can continue to run up towards the Asian session, after the Dow's closed, etc., then we particularly a close above 194 or anything above 193.75, and that's got the potential to climb up to 195 plus. 195 is my limit order for this particular move, for this intraday move, and with a couple of hours to go on the Dow, I hope that will do that. Tomorrow we've got core durable goods, very little data in the morning in the Euro session, so I will take it easy. Now, talking of the Euro session, the Euro has been just ignoring all the short setups, well, a lot of the short setups, and this hammer down here that was thrown down generated at current price 150 points. Took a long while to get there, but it did get there. And the euro yen was a trade that a very similar setup, well, a very similar chart, which I felt I should have taken in hindsight and stood aside. Because if you now look at the daily on this one, I think this has got the potential to put at least, well, 130 is the big number ahead. 130.50 is the daily 55 EMA. If we do come back to the box, it's worth at least a small position, half size, to get 128.75 to see if that can push up into that resistance. And we are effectively, we've got a 3-wave bounce here, and that's a sort of a funnel-like pattern down there. So we start holding here, we could do a recovery. Let me update the fibs. Could do a recovery on this. That's the last big move. Okay, so we failed at 50% at 131.55, and assuming we can close above 130 this week, then that could, if that continue right up to these highs at 132, 133, and that's quite a powerful setup. 3-wave, close above that funnel, and that is a potential decent move. So keep an eye on that one. Tomorrow, 129. If you see 129 again, then that is definitely worth a trade. Just update the fibs. Right, you can see that hammer was on the 61.8%, so nice move. So that's all I do tomorrow. I would be inclined to buy pullbacks in this euro, particularly as the only data in the morning is euro, and get to my desk and see how that pound Aussie is performing. At the moment we're still climbing up. Pound US has done well. So as long as we close up there, that's a bit of a spinning top, so that may see us drag down to 150 and end the week at 150, but we'll see. Let's see if we can close any higher into the US close. Okay, and so the pound yen close is, that's a spinning top. That could potentially drop to 178, 179. Could potentially fall over. Unless, of course, we can break above that 180.32 at the highs. So we're just finishing up looking at the gold, and the gold is pushing up, so this could dent my prospects in the pound Aussie if that continues to hold up. Very messy chart. We still, if we can continue up into tomorrow and into next week, could see a retest of that 12.15 resistance level. And the let's cross back to the DAX. This was a gap fill. Right down here was the Friday close, right down the very lows. That's got bought. At the moment we're holding up. I mean, that's 2 days of selling, so that's got the potential to come right down here and just roll over. So we need to be very, very careful with these markets. And last but not least, oil. We're just coming to the pit close. I missed this. I forgot to check oil. Day after invents can quite often be one of the better days to trade oil. And into the euro session, we started basing down here at 55, 75, 55, 90, 56, and as soon as we closed above this box at 2 o'clock, the pit opened, they pushed it right up to resistance of 58. Will I buy a pullback on that? Personally, no. Well, I would certainly look at it. If we came right back to 56.60 and held, then definitely, yeah, I would buy that. That would be nice and low, major support level, and at the very least take one position, one trade, and then see if I can push back into 60 plus. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope that helps, and see you in the room tomorrow, and let me know if you have any questions.